Good evening. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Thanks to those that served and died for our country. Truly a blessing to be here tonight. I hope everybody's having a great night. I had a great evening. Having a great evening. Had a great weekend. Practiced a lot of self care this weekend. Had a day off today, which was another blessing of recovery. Pretty awesome. Um, Mouse dry. Addie and I had a good weekend, just kind of hung out and chilled. Really didn't do a whole lot, participated in a lot of meetings and watched a lot of TV. Kind of did a whole lot of nothing. I bought more computer gear. Surprise, surprise. Got a killer deal on a monitor today. I'm super excited about that. But yeah, all in all, good weekend. Can't complain. That's for sure. Tonight's topic, I'm once again going to come from the NA side for those that want to follow along tonight. This one kind of touched home with me. It resonated with me personally. That's why I'm sharing on it tonight. I shared on it in a meeting earlier today. Really good topic. If you guys want to follow along, you can just type in JFT in your phone or in Google. It'll bring up the first. Probably the first one it brings up would be today's JFT. And it's titled Loneliness versus Being Alone. That's why I've got that right there. Never alone, never again. Because I can remember, that desperation and that loneliness and that feeling. If you guys want to comment in the chat while I'm sharing, please do so. If you haven't shared out the stream, please do. I'd appreciate it. Let me bring it up. JFT today for May 30th was called Loneliness versus Being Alone. It's on page 156 if you actually have the book in your hand. Sharing with others keeps us from feeling isolated and alone. That's why you always see Recover Out Loud above my head, guys. It is ingrained throughout 12-step fellowships to recover out loud and to share your experience, strength, and hope. Under basic text, page 185, says there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. It says being lonely is a state of the heart and emptiness that makes us feel sad and sometimes hopeless. It says loneliness is not always alleviated when we enter into a relationship or surround ourselves with other people. It says some of us are lonely even in a room full of people. How many of you guys can relate to that? Everything could be going on around you that's really good. Life's going great. But yet you feel empty, even with a room or, a room of loved ones around you. Even in NA or AA or CR or whatever 12-step fellowship you're in, there's still a void there. Because many of us came to NA or whatever 12-step fellowship, fill in the blank, out of desperation, loneliness of our addiction. After coming to meetings, we begin to make new friends. Often our feelings of loneliness, they ease up, they lessen. But many of us contend with loneliness throughout our recovery. It's not like it just magically disappears. It's always there. It's usually always a struggle. What is the cure for loneliness? What's your guys' cure for loneliness? The best cure is to begin a relationship, and I recommend a healthy relationship with a higher power that can help fill the emptiness of our heart. Whatever your higher power may be, don't overthink that. We find that when we have a belief in a higher power, we never have to feel lonely. We can be alone more comfortably when we have a conscious contact with a God of our own understanding. What works for you may not work for someone else, and that's perfectly okay. As long as it works for you, that's what matters. We often find deep fulfillment in our interactions with others as we progress in our recovery. Yet we find that the closer we draw or we pull to our higher power, the less we need to surround ourselves with other people. We begin to find a spirit within us in our content or in our constant companion as we continue to explore and deepen our connection with a power greater than ourselves. We realize that we are spiritually connected with something bigger, something much larger than we are. Because just for today, I will take comfort in my conscious contact with a higher power. And remember, of your understanding, I am never alone. That's why I've got this on here. Never alone, never again. Welcome, guys that are coming in. Ronnie, my dude, welcome, brother. Like I said, when I first came on, I can remember the desperation. I can remember the loneliness. I was a master isolator. Like, I was the master of disappearing and falling off the face of the earth, because I struggle with social anxiety. I don't like being around a whole lot of people and large crowds. This at first, when I first started doing the streaming and that, was super out of my comfort zone. But you can see the more we do it and the more we practice it, I'm living proof, the more comfortable we become. A better connection, a better understanding starts to happen. I had to get outside of myself, and getting outside of ourselves, getting out of our own way is really important, guys. It's a mindset change, changing our stinking thinking, up here, our thought process, from a negative one to a positive one, and not limiting ourselves, saying I can and I will instead of I can't and I won't. It's the I cans today, not the I won't. Give yourself a break and try to apply yourself. I've got a cat crawling on my leg. She knows I'm live, so she comes in here to say, hi, Dad, what's going on? The mental health still plays a point or a major factor for me personally. And I'm sure it does for many other people, because not only did I become a master isolator and I have the social anxiety, I struggle with anxiety and depression. There's a lot of fear involved in all of this that I'm talking about. False evidence appearing real, guys. We can face everything and recover. That's the way we have to look at it. I've got a huge ego, and I struggle with control. All these things play a big part in all this. I have to let all that go and try to be better, try to be a better person. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be perfect at it, because I'm not. My huge ego and my control issues still get in the way all the time. I try not to be that way, but it happens, but at least I'm trying. That's why it's so important that we have that inventory and that we go over it and try not to make the same mistakes, but they're going to happen, and that's okay. It's normal. It's perfectly okay. I was homeless and hopeless a short time ago, guys. That's really powerful. It's hard to believe, and it's hard for me to sit back in this chair with everything around me today, the things that are going on in my life, the things that are going on in other people's lives around me that are going really well, because I was homeless. I was living on the streets. I went from living on the streets to couch surfing to mental health institutions to recovery centers and treatment centers, on and off for decades. That was my life. It took me a long time to become open-minded and willing to begin to understand, to listen to the lived experience of each and every one of you guys out there, the people in the rooms, and to shut up, just to listen and actually take it in and absorb it. And then not only that, but apply myself. I had an application problem. These are all things that I personally struggle with that I'm trying to share with you guys tonight. Because if you're struggling with the same things, the same problems, let go and let your higher power guide you. Your higher power will not guide you in the wrong direction if you have that strong connection. And then apply yourself. My higher power personally is God. He's not going to steer me in the wrong direction. He's not going to put too much on my plate that I can't control. But I have to remember that he's not going to do the work. I have to put in the work. I have to do it. And I had that problem, you know. When I'm having a great day, I share about it. When I'm having a bad day, I share about it. That pain, the struggles that we deal with when life shows up, that pain shared is pain lessened, guys. Don't ever forget that. Reach out and talk to somebody when you're struggling. Reach out and talk to somebody when you're having a great day and you just want to say hi, when you just want to say hello. Ronnie, the guy that's commenting right now here, right below me, guys, he reaches out all the time. This man's of service nonstop, constantly, all the time. This man was a huge part of my recovery. If you guys go back into some of my live videos on YouTube, even on Facebook, Ronnie was the very first man I asked to come on my live stream to share his experience, strength, and hope. Very powerful testimony in recovering out loud, guys. And that's what it's all about. You know, stick with the winners. You know, get rid of those old people, places, and things. You know, the like-minded people of recovery. In Narcotics Anonymous, they call it the therapeutic value of one addict, one person, one alcoholic. You can replace the word, you know, helping another. Together we're stronger, guys, you know. And for me today, that's mentally, spiritually, and physically, there's a lot of healing and there's a lot of growth in that. And I'm really grateful that, you know, I personally can start to see it and really have a good understanding on it. Something greater than me. Don't ever forget that, you know, and getting outside of yourself and changing your thought process. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but try and apply yourself. Well, I hope you guys are having a great evening. I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me ramble for a short period of time tonight, but that's okay. I like to jump on like this. I like to go over the daily readings when they speak to me. And for those that didn't get a chance today to maybe go over it, well, here it is. You're welcome. Participate in your recovery, guys. Remember, have that attitude of gratitude every single day. If you're having a bad day, you've got that option. You've got that choice to either let it consume you and screw your whole day up or hit the reset button and start over. We all have that choice. I highly recommend doing it because believe me, if you hit the reset button, usually you end up having a good day, especially when you share it with somebody that loves and cares about you and you talk to them, you reach out. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you enjoyed the stream. We will talk to you guys later if I can find my outro again because I'm blind. I love you guys. See you.